have been taken care of, I guess, already, so.
Like Dave fix it the next day?
Yep, so. And then in addition to that, we also put a notice on the website regarding Friday's incident in Connecticut. And did you get an instant alert out
That
with
went
that
out
too?
today too, yep.
Yep, and so we instant alerted email as well to community members and parents and stuff, so. Just leaving that open. What it kind of said on the website was, if you have concerns or need anything to know about our safety plan or the events that happen, then come to the school or give the school a call and we'll help you out with that. And some of the classes today, they did talk about it and watch some CNN stuff on it and things like that, and then some of the students were referred to the counselor as well, so you know, it hits home, and just, you know, it's dependent on how different people approach it differently, and so we've given assistance to some students today, and we'll continue to do that as long as we need to as well.
I walked the halls this morning when school started, and was smiling and shaking hands with kids, so I don't want the kids to be scared of, you know, scared of cops. But they all know who I am, so.
I thought your posting on the website was excellent when I saw it today, so thank you for doing that.
And that was, yeah, some of that was both, we did
Collaborated
that this
on that one.
morning, yeah.
It was, as a parent, even more so than a board member, it was very reassuring, thank you.
Good, good to hear.
Also, what was it, last Friday, I believe, Mr. McNulty and I met with Howard Lake administration to discuss some possible collaboration things that we could maybe do in the next few years or longer. We really didn't solidify anything at all, but just kind of got together to talk about some of the things we could do together. If we brought in a speaker or presenter or something like that, how we could share that resource and split the costs, or you know, sports or anything. It just
Training on ties was one of them.
yeah, training on ties for because they have ties as well, and they have a new administrator who's learning on the fly like I am with that, and just there was a whole bunch of different topics we talked about, but working together with the schools in the area, and so we don't have to go to Marshall every time we have to do a training with the co-op. Just helps us all out. You know, we talked also about teacher collaboration. Our social studies teachers meeting with their social studies teachers and discussing best practices and things like that. Elementary students met their goal for the reading contest, 125,000 minutes, and I got 20-something. How many pies did I get in my face? A lot. My eyes were burning. There's something in the filling that I'm allergic to, or hurts my eyes. So that wasn't the paper too. I think that might have been a couple weeks ago. But
How much do I have to read to be able to do that?
only one of them got it on my top of my head. The rest were right in my face. Some of the younger kids were funny because they would throw it from like 5 feet away. I think one wouldn't even do it. So I like her. She's my favorite. Her mom, on the other hand, who did decide to do it for her. So. NHS and high school students finished off their toy drive for Mary's Place, donated 250 toys, so they met their goal. It goes through Sharing and Carrying Hands in Minneapolis, also known as Mary's Place, and those will be delivered on Wednesday or Thursday of this week to them. I believe they have 500 people that stay overnight there regularly at that place, and it's similar to Toys for Tots, but that's a lot more publicized. I think Mary's Place is a good place for us to take some of these things and hopefully make some smiles on some faces. So. And then the PBIS staff attended Oveus Bullying Prevention Program. It was put on by Gene Johnson. The entire staff will be trained on this on January 18th during the workshop day, during half of it. What it is, it's just in line with the PBS training that we've had so far. Continuation of that. What we talked about is how staff members respond to bullying, how students should respond to bullying, how administration should respond to bullying, and making sure that stuff is clear cut and lined up so that if it were to happen, everyone knows what to expect. One of the things was I call the person's parents who bullied, I call the person's parents who was bullied, and then make sure we're doing follow-up on that. And same with Mr. Skoblik, and staff members recognizing what bullying is, defining it through their definition, and working with students to not be bystanders and to act accordingly. One of the biggest things that leads to increased bullying or I don't know, more bullies or bullying problems is when students know what's going on and they don't do anything to prevent it. They're just innocent bystanders, because a lot of times that's the case, where if we can get the students to move on the spectrum toward at least acting on it, whether they tell a staff member, or whether they step in and say, hey, knock it off, or whatever it is, but getting the students to move toward that instead of just walking by and ignoring the problem. Because a lot of the times, I'm excited to see the survey. We're going to do a survey with students, a pre-survey, and see how much bullying is taking place. Because I don't get a lot of that, and Mr. Skolbeck, we don't get a lot of this, but it's going on, I believe, because when I do find out about it, it's something that's been going on for 2-3 weeks or whatever, longer. But it's going on in our school. I don't think it's a huge problem, but it's happening. But a lot of times we don't find out about it because kids won't tell, or
You don't want to be known as narcs.
yeah, and exactly. And some of it we talked about too was telling is one thing, but if you know it's bullying, we need to put a stop to it. And that's one of the things we'll educate the students on, we'll educate staff members on, and hopefully branch that out as well with PBIS in the community too.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Activities Director, Mr. Johnson, has a Christmas program for his family, so he won't be here tonight. There was confusion over the shuttle bus schedule. That had been addressed. Coaches are instructed to let him know that if there is no bus or if the bus is not showing up on time, he's to be notified. Gym floor continues to be a concern. We will be sweeping the floor in between JV and varsity games, and also trying to sweep at halftime of the varsity games. We are also trying to work on a schedule that will allow the custodians more time to be able to scrub the gym floor before games. And then having the gym door locked has caused some concern for coaches. And then he's got a question on here, who is getting keys? Like, can you answer that one? I don't know what that is.
Locked after 3 o'clock, so.
Okay. Okay, so that's his report. And then,
And
Mr.
who's responsible for making sure that they're unlocked? Because I have heard that there's been times
Nick usually
when
takes care of
people
it.
need to be there.
Well, it's only been
not
2 weeks,
unlocked.
he forgot the first day, so that's when a bunch of my concern is. He's busy other things, so we got him all looking for him. Otherwise, Dave leaves it, does it before he goes, it leaves later, and Nick does it if he stays out again. And I've had to do it a couple times because they need me.
So no coaches have been given keys?
I think the head coaches both have them already, if I'm not mistaken, who Dallas? Doesn't, no, not Dean does,
Dean doesn't.
Ben has it.
Ben has it.
Yeah, because he's here.
And Mike Lee has one?
No, Mike Lee does not.
Joe, I think does.
Joe
Joe
Clay.
Clay.
No, Joe doesn't have one either.
You sure?
Neither of them.
Oh, okay. Well, one of the coaches, and Ben came and got it for the boys.
Would it be worth putting a key in a lockbox somewhere like in the office or somewhere where it's accessible to get some of
Well,
the
we have them
coaches?
in the office all the time.
But if
I'm
it's at,
talking about if somebody, for some reason, you're here and happens to be locked, that it would be, a code that you get into that, that only the coaches would know. I mean, a simple lockbox
I
cost
do, we
$20
can get for that in case one of the coaches is gone.
well, that's for, I mean, and now, anybody who's in charge of any kind of program that requires the use of the gym, like on a weekend or
Well, they have to
whatever.
sign out like anybody else does, like if we have groups that use it, they have to do
So like all of our community ed, like coaches that practice at Sunday night at 8 o'clock, how are they assured that the gym doors are gonna be open when they come to practice at 8 o'clock at night?
Give one sense of that one for you.
What we have set up is when Nick leaves on Friday night, he sets the panic bars open on the gym, and then I lock them Monday morning when I come. So they are open Saturday and Sunday.
So the gym is completely open on the weekends?
Right,
So after 3, it's open, on weekends it's open.
right. After 3 on Friday, it'll be open until Monday morning when I come. And I relock.
Yep. Take care of it.
So
But I really like
So the
Willie's-
issue isn't really after hours, it's during school that there's been issues or something, that's why we locked the gym?
Yeah. You know, kids
So
like
it
down
wasn't
there.
an after-school thing that was going on?
No,
During.
that's right.
things we had to do, one was lockdown safety concerns, that if people are in there, there's no way we can stop that, that was one of our concerns. And then the other concerns we had, younger kids going in there when they shouldn't be in there, and then, like, I can't walk down the girls' locker room like that, so then we'd have to get somebody to have a possibility, we'll just eliminate that. But just like a teaching class, the coaches, the teachers, instructors would let the kids down there for their class, and somebody else. So we did it last year too. The thing is, last year, it didn't go with announcement, and it wasn't no big deal, because it's done the same thing. We haven't had issues since we've done it that way. More of a change thing that people are used to.
I still like the idea of if you're not going to give keys to all the coaches, having a lockbox.
That's a good idea. We'll have to look at that one. We'll talk to Dave and I.
I mean, personally, I feel like anybody that's a coach should have a key. But if that's not possible, then I think at the very least, because, you know, people will, I mean, Nick, there might be a possibility that he might forget, you know, and this way that would just eliminate any problems with our coaches having access to the locker rooms and the gym.
I think we'll do more there. The downside we have there is that just they can't go in there any time. That's the issue that you're gonna have in there. And you look at what happens with some of the stuff on the weekends, the stuff doesn't get cleaner, they get let in the locker rooms, and we've had messes and people who have been there haven't.
But if it's the coaches, then it's their responsibility. I mean, if they're the ones that have been issued keys, then it's their responsibility.
That's why it would have been nice to get that grant so that we have the card readers, you know, that we know who's in and who's out, but I'm gonna keep trying, but it'd be nice to have that system in place.
We just don't want to, you know, limit our access for our coaching staff and have them be frustrated, I guess is what I want to eliminate.
Issues, because it's during the school day for a lot, so.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, facility supervisor, Mr. Euchre.
Give you a hand what I left in your, it was right on your, stuff already.
You want me to read it off, or? We have completed 56 work orders off the Northright system. Working with ESG, JCI, and myself, we have most of the bug stuff out on the energy management system. Got most of the locker plates put on. Do you guys understand what that means, locker plates?
So that the locks don't scratch
Jingle,
open.
jangle.
Right.
We need to have the extra gym doors put on the west side of the gym at top of ramp. This will finish isolating the gym and also the stage. Does everybody understand that?
Those two excess doors that we originally got for this side, we're gonna put those up on the other side then, because they could fit there. Just have the frame to do that, so we're
On
looking.
top of the ramp?
Yep, so there'll be new doors there too.
Oh, yeah, the doors on the
Oh,
ramp.
nice, they're terrible, yeah.
On the elementary side.
I know which doors you're talking about, but which doors are you talking about that you have?
The original doors for this door, before we switched them, we get
Oh,
those
the
doors
wooden
still.
ones, you mean?
No, we
No,
have those steel ones.
the metal steel doors that were gonna be there, we still have those.
You
And
have
those
the frame?
weren't wheelchair accessible, right? Is that why we kept?
They
is that
weren't,
why
they
we
wanted them
did-
wider, right, so
Right.
they fit actually into the other framing to use those doors, we just have to get the framing to.
Has it all been measured and everything, and it will work, it doesn't have to get cut down or anything?
Depending on the frame, let's get the frame, yeah, because we just have the doors, we don't have the frame, so just have
We
to match
don't
that.
have the frame,
No,
because we redid the frame.
right,
that's
because we just redid that one, yeah. Different frame, so we're gonna utilize those and get those up on the other side, so we'll have the gym, all the gym entrances completed.
There's still some blinds that need to be replaced. I'm not gonna say which room number, any of that stuff, because of security reasons, but, so there's some blinds that need to be replaced yet. Waiting on one shade to be cut to size. We have all the outside perimeter window shades up by the end of Christmas break. I think I have the speaker sound problem taken care of in the elementary classrooms. We are waiting for Laraway Roofing to repair leaking roof over cafeteria, which just started this past weekend.
Frame.
Wonderful. We will be deep scrubbing the bathrooms, locker rooms, and scrub and recoat all the hallways over the holiday